Heading overseas now, humanitarian agencies are scrambling to assist the thousands of Iraqi civilians preparing to take flight as the war against the Islamic State group moves to the west side of Mosul. US-backed Iraqi forces have now begun a major new offensive to regain control there now that they've successfully liberated Mosul's east. But with 750,000 civilians trapped alongside thousands of IS militants, providing food and shelter is a dangerous and difficult task. As Anne Barker reports.
Iraqi forces have made early strides as they begin their advance into western Mosul. In the first few hours, says this soldier, they killed nearly 100 IS fighters and recaptured several villages.
We are very glad to have liberated this area. We have killed lots of IS and we will soon get civilians back to their homes. We will continue to push forward and will follow IS to the border.
But population density means retaking western Mosul will be a long, slow task, likely even slower than the assault on the east, which has taken a good 4 months. 750,000 people live in the west under IS control, many in narrow streets and laneways that army vehicles can't reach. And protecting civilians while eliminating thousands of IS militants will be no easy job. Iraq's Prime Minister is Haider al-Abadi.
Our main mission is to liberate the people before liberating the land. You have done a great job by liberating other areas, by taking care of people, including the displaced, and by providing services for them. We reiterate the importance of taking care of people and dealing with them in a humanitarian way and providing all the necessary requirements for the displaced, as you did before, you brave fighters.
Humanitarian agencies face their own battle to assist the thousands of people who will be displaced from their homes in the weeks and months ahead. Tom Robinson is the emergency team leader at Oxfam, one of around 50 aid organisations present in Mosul.
One of the biggest concerns is for the humanitarian community and government of Iraq to actually keep pace with the rate of displacement. At the moment, we're operating on sort of planning figures of displacement of 1,000 to 3,000 people per day. And given that eastern Mosul sort of laid the groundwork for how this displacement might work, there are a number of camps which are already set up. On top of these camps, new ones are being purpose-built for the West itself. So, yeah, we are very much focused on pre-positioning of sort of emergency stock in these locations where we're expecting displacement.
Tom Robinson says it's not just about providing tents or food, but many of those fleeing will endure significant trauma. But if eastern Mosul's a guide, he says, many will be able to return home long before the battle is over.
Well, one of the amazing things we've seen here is the resilience of the Iraqi people in terms of how quickly they're able to return to their homes to having been displaced. Within eastern Mosul, we've got over 50,000 people have returned already, since the start of the campaign. So what is really surprising is the rate at which people are able to get back to their homes and start trying to sort of rebuild their lives effectively. So, I mean, while we expect the campaign to go on for a long time, and no doubt there'll be further problems in the future, we're trying to provide services not only for those people that are displaced, but those people that have, we're calling them conflict-affected communities. So it encompasses those that are returning and also those that have continued to live under ISIS up until the very end.
The longer-term challenge is who will run Mosul once Islamic State is defeated. Foreign defence leaders meeting in Munich have warned Iraq's Prime Minister the fight is not just military but political, with Iraqi forces, Kurdish fighters, Iranian-backed militias and IS sympathisers all competing for control. There are questions too about what happens across the border in Syria, where many IS fighters will no doubt flee. Mosul may soon be liberated, but the fight against Islamic State may simply shift to a new and more difficult battleground.
Anne Barker reporting.